3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hey, what's up? My name is Samuel Leeds, and I wanted to introduce you to a student of mine, and her name is Nozzie. She's doing really good things within social housing and rent-to-rent. She's financially independent, making a very, very good monthly income from doing it. And I thought I'd interview her and share her success and her story and how she's made it possible. So Nozzie, thank you so much for coming down to my house.
Oh, thank you, Samuel, for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So looking forward to it. Though I'm a bit nervous, but yeah, I'm really excited.
Well, you know what though? It's a really good thing because you've been successful, and now in sharing, you're going to be able to help other people become successful. So where did this all start, and where did this all come from?
Oh, where do I even start? I actually never had any inclination about getting into property. The only kind of property side I wanted to do was to provide housing and support for clients that struggle to manage their properties, their tenancies, or live independently. So my plan was to get accommodation from the local authorities, housing association, and support these clients to live independently and manage their tenancies and move on with their lives. However, I'd registered a business with a friend of mine to start the supported living accommodation, but she was not really forthcoming. It was myself doing most of the work. Then I thought, let me just go solo and do this myself. So I went online and started searching on how to find these properties, and I came across your video. You're talking about how you can manage a property or somebody else's property and make a profit out of it. I just thought, what? How is that possible? Is it real? I went on and binged on your videos, all your videos, and spent the whole day watching them. I didn't even wash the dishes on that day, and I went and told my husband about it. He was like, no, I don't believe that's true. Because I said to him, yeah, I know what you're thinking, but from the videos, from what I've watched, it seems very legit. It's something that you can do as a business. And I said to him, I've seen he's got training coming up this week. And it so happened that it was October school holidays, and I'd taken annual leave that week. Then I said to him, I'm going to book for this training and go. He was like, how are we going to manage with the kids? I said, I'll go with them. If I have to, they'll stay at the hotel, because my oldest is 16-year-old at the time, but now she's 18. So I said, they'll stay at the hotel and I'll attend the training. So I did.
What was the date of the training?
It was the 18th of October.
You know the exact date?
Yes,
Everybody
how can I
does.
forget?
What was it like, the crash course?
Oh my goodness, it was just lit. It's unexplainable. I was so motivated. I was fired up, and when I left the crash course, I just thought, this is something I have to do.
Yeah.
It resonated with me somewhere, somehow. I just thought, yeah, I have to go for this.
Okay, so after the crash course, you've now learned loads, hopefully had your mind blown a little bit.
Very, very blown. I couldn't believe there's so many strategies that you can get into property. In my head, I thought property is for the rich and the affluent only. The only way I can have a property myself is to buy my own home that I live in, and maybe later on save up money 15, 20 years time and buy a second house and maybe rent the other one property. But from the crash course, I learned quite a lot. How you can do rent to rent, how you can buy, refurbish, refinance and rent. All those strategies, they really blown me out.
So since then, how's life changed?
My life has changed so much, I can tell you that. I can't believe that from just a free training, I'm now earning money from property, which is more than my own salary. It doesn't seem a lot right now, but yeah, a lot has changed.
And your husband as well wasn't the most, what should we say? He was a bit skeptical, should we say?
He was Mr. Skeptical.
And he didn't even come to the crash course.
I didn't even come to the crash course. I was like,
we can't speak too badly of him because he is in the corner of the room. But yeah, of course, he's been extremely supportive of you, and he is now.
Yeah.
But was just skeptical of me. And was skeptical of the strategies.
Of the strategies, not of you. You were skeptical of the strategies. He just thought, no, I don't think that exists.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being skeptical. I think being skeptical and being careful is okay. The problem is when you're too skeptical,
not
and
to
you're
try.
not open-minded. But at least hey, he's supported you to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you've now succeeded very, very well. So you've done what strategies have you really ran with then?
So the strategy that really resonated with me was rent to rent.
Yeah.
So I went straight away after the crash course. I started making phone calls because I thought I'm not used to contacting agents. I don't have the notes on what to say. So I just thought I'll make as many phone calls as I can until I get used to it. Someone one day would say yes to me. So I've made about 100 phone calls. Everybody was like, no, that's you're subletting, no landlord will accept that, and things like that. But maybe a month after the crash course, I identified a property in Coventry, which is a 6-bedroom. Yeah. Called the agent. That property had been on the market for about, I think, 3 months. So I called the agent. They seemed to understand about the rent-to-rent strategy. I was like, oh, yes, let me go for this now. Yeah, so we arranged a viewing, asked my husband to come with me, but he was working. He was still not really 100% sure. But after viewing the property, I said to him, you know what, that is the right property. Because from the training, you did say that you find properties that are a bit kind of run down,
a little bit tired,
a little bit tired,
because otherwise if they're in beautiful condition they'd already get maximum rent. So if something's a bit tired, the landlord's motivated, maybe he hasn't got the £1,000 it needs to just lift it up a little bit, and then you can get the best deal. Yeah,
definitely. So it was a bit tired, 6-bedroom, and it had only 2 tenants. I think it was going for £1,200 per month. Yeah. I negotiated to £1,000, and they were like, "Oh, we'll ring the landlord, but I'm sure he'll be okay with that." So they called me 2 days later. They were like, "Yeah, the landlord agreed. He said it's fine. You can go for contract for 3 years or 5 years if you wish." So we chose 3 years because at that time I was still starting. I just thought, what if I run out of funds? How would I manage? So started from then on. I requested for a free rent for about 2.5 weeks. So we signed on the 14th of December, but the agreement started on the 1st of January. So we had about 2 weeks to turn around the property.
Perfect. You did very well to get that. I just have to commend you, because you said you made about 100 phone calls. So many people would have given up. But the fact that you just kept going and kept going, and then within 2 weeks after the crash course, secured a rent to rent. I mean, massive congratulations. So talk to me about the figures then. So you agreed to pay the landlord £1,000. What happened next? So you had 2 weeks to get the property nice, spice it up. I mean, how much did that cost to renovate the property?
I think it cost about £1,000 to renovate it. And at that time, actually, I didn't have the money. And then I thought, okay, the crash course, Samuel said, you can't get into property using other people's money. So why not? I phoned my young brother in South Africa, and he sent me some money. And it so happened that at that time, I was already studying a master's course. So I used part of my student loan to pay towards the house. Wow. Yeah, and we renovated it. My husband did most of the renovations.
Oh, so now when he saw that you were actually serious, he was like, right, let's do it together.
Yeah, we even now we're doing everything together. He does brilliant. Everything. So
he must be glad that you came to the crash course and took the lead on this.
Oh, he loves it. He's like, every time, I trust your judgment. Just go for it. I trust your judgment.
And I think it's so important to have, a family that support you in what you're doing. You say you had a family back at home in South Africa that said, you know what, I'll give you £1,000 or whatever it was. You've got your husband that's working with you, and I think that's so invaluable to have that. So, you're very, very blessed.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I'm very grateful, because without the support, you just get deflated from phone calls being turned down, and you not having finances and not having that support. You just get deflated and give up. But
that's right. So £1,000 a month, it cost you £1,000 to renovate it. You had 2.5 weeks rent-free period. So it wasn't a lot of money then to put down, really.
It wasn't a lot. Luckily, this property already had fire doors, all the fire alarm fitted. So all we needed really was to change flooring, paint the property, and I think on the ceiling as well, they had put wallpapers, so they were dangling. I remember towards the time for signing the agreement, the agent rang me, was like, Nozzie, are you sure you can turn this around? Look at these pictures, look how it's looking. This property is quite dilapidated. Like, no, just leave it to me, I'll do it up, we'll sort it out. So
it's great. But another thing as well is, having the skills to be able to do that and make it happen is also, really important. So you're paying the landlord £1,000 a month. Do you still have that property today?
I still have that property today.
So what happened next?
So what happened next, beginning of January time, that's when we'd finished, I think maybe 3 or 4 rooms. Students started flocking now to Coventry University, and we put the rooms on advert. They came, most of the students came, they really wanted the rooms, even those that were not ready, they wanted to sign up. And we signed up, I think, about 4 students, and we void with 2 rooms. Then after that, COVID came just a few weeks down the line. We just thought, I hope it's not going to affect us. But it did. Not slightly, not a lot, because most of those students moved back with their families. Like, we cannot afford to stay. We are learning online now, so we might as well just go back home, save our monies. And we couldn't really argue with them. It's their choice. And just thought, what can we do to fill these voids, to fill the gap? I've contacted the council. Just thought, there is a market out there. The councils, they've got a lot of people in emergency accommodation that require long-term accommodation. So I already work within the housing myself. So why not link with the Coventry Council, and told them that I've got a few rooms available. If you have any tenants that require accommodation, you can refer them to me. So I told them that I needed the council to pay at least 1 month's rent and deposit prior to the tenant moving in. So that strategy worked, and they referred 4 clients, which helped fill the whole place up.
Incredible. So now, is it just tenants from the council, or have you got students and some of the tenants from the council?
Oh, now it's only It's only tenants from the council.
So how much rent are they paying now then?
We're getting just over £2,000 from that, £2,170 if I'm not mistaken.
And you're paying the landlord £1,000?
£1,000.
And then you're having to pay bills?
Yeah.
So how much profit does that house give you?
It's giving me about £770.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Wow, how does it feel to have that house?
It feels really, really good. I never thought I'll have that extra £700, in my life. I was thinking, if you needed any extra money, just go and do a part-time second job, get £30 or £200 here and there. But that extra £700 made a huge difference. And all the profit, you saved it up and later used it to use for another property as well.
Which property is that?
This is a second HMO, a rent to HMO.
Okay.
Yeah, from the same agent. So we built a very good rapport with that agent, and they now forward properties to me every week. So I chose that property because it was really done up, all en suites, 4 bedrooms with all en suites, and I only advertise that for students, and even today it's still filled up.
So are all your properties full?
All my properties are full.
And your profit across your rent to rents, how much are you making in total profit?
About £1,800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your job, you say you're earning a little bit more with your income coming from rent than you are from your job even?
Yes, I earn a lot more from the property than I earn from my job.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So why don't you just do the property full time?
I will eventually, Samuel. I will. I love my job.
Okay.
I feel like I do make a huge difference. You know, those clients that I work with, relieve them from homelessness and have a temporary accommodation here, and then move on into permanent accommodation. See them settle 12 months. It fulfills me. So
you're really doing this not just to make money, you're doing this because you want to help people?
Yeah, I do it because I want to help people.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And have you got any other stuff going on outside of rent to rents, or is rent to rents, is that it? Is that all you've been doing?
No, I've got 3 rent to rent. The other one is a rent to rent, but it's got a family that's living in it.
Yeah.
So when I was crunching my numbers, I remembered at the crash course, I think when you're talking about the buy to let or the single let, that most people will make about, at least if you're making £100 to £150, it's usually enough for people, but for that property it makes a lot more than that. About £270, which is quite good, I think, for a single let.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you've now got a few properties, you control them, you're making about £1,750 a month. That's coming in consistent. What's with the council tenants? Is the money that's coming in from the council, is that guaranteed, or how does it work?
Oh yeah, so my agreement with the council and their tenants, I've said to them, I only accept tenants that will have their rent paid direct to me from Universal Credit. So initial stage, the council will pay first month's rent and deposit, and then going forward only direct payments from the Universal Credit. So it comes direct every month.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So how's life changed then from 2 years ago when you first came to the crash course to now? Now you've got your income coming in from your job, you've got your income coming in from your properties. What kind of differences has that made in your everyday life?
It has made a huge difference. I still can't believe that from just a free training, I've got so much knowledge. I've gone and taken action and implemented, and I'm getting a little bit extra money. I can give my kids what they need. I mean, when they can, whereas before they were lacking. So a lot has changed for me. Yeah.
And what are your plans for the next 6-12 months?
6 to 12 months. I'm planning on buying, refurbish and refinancing.
Yeah.
I've already bought one property recently, which is a very funny story actually to tell.
Go on, what happened?
I was watching auctions. I just thought, you know what, I'm in property, I might as well just learn how does auction work. So I went on Bond Wolf. I was watching the properties. I think this was the 200th property I was watching. I noticed that people can bid on a property 30, 40 times, or even 10 times. I just thought, let me click a button to say I did bid as well. Someone who outbid me, of course.
Yeah.
And soon after I clicked the button, I got a text message to say you won the property.
Wow!
Yeah.
When did this happen?
This was November 2020.
So just a few months back now.
Yeah, just a few months back.
And how much did you buy it for?
It was 24,000.
24,000. Where did you get the money from?
We didn't have any money, to be honest. It was such a very funny story. So there was no money at all to pay for the property. So I approached my bank. I just thought, because of the property that we live in, it does have equity.
Yeah.
But we had remortgaged a bit. But when I applied for the extra loan, they said we can only give you £6,000. I was like, £6,000, it will only cover the deposit towards the property. It won't cover everything.
Yeah.
So I used a financing loan, a bridging loan.
Okay.
So I used a bridging loan. They did a second attachment into the property and then provided.
So you took a £6,000 loan for the deposit?
No, I didn't take it. I just
take it at
thought,
all?
I just said no.
So the bridging loan, did they give you the whole money to buy it?
They gave me the whole money.
Wow.
Yeah.
They obviously thought it was a good deal.
They thought, but they attached the loan into our current property where we live in.
Oh, right, got you.
I think because they knew it's a bit, it's worth a lot more.
So you bought it for 24 grand.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, have you started renovations yet?
We finished renovating.
Oh, you finished?
Yeah, we finished.
You're a bit of a dark horse, aren't you? All right, so you bought it for 24, you've renovated it, and how much is it worth now?
It's worth about £43,000.
And how much did you spend on it?
We spent just over £2,000.
Only 2,000?
Yeah.
Wow. Hold on. Where is this house?
It's in Bishop Auckland.
Oh, I know the area. Okay, very cheap area.
Yeah.
So you bought it for 24. You spent 2,000 on it.
Yeah.
So you spent 26,000 in total. It's now worth 43,000.
Yeah.
So what's the plan?
The plan is to refinance it.
Yeah.
One is to refinance and get all the money out and a little bit extra, and then use it possibly for another rent when more profit comes up, and then we'll
so
buy
that's
another property.
Pull all your money out deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. So you're going through the refinance now?
Yeah, we're going to start the refinancing.
Absolutely brilliant. How does it feel then to just be like, to be buying houses like that? That's just crazy.
It is crazy.
You accidentally bought a house.
Accidentally. It's called a serendipity moment, where you accidentally get something really good by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still can't believe it today.
That is crazy.
Just from free knowledge from you.
Oh wow, it's great. And that's the thing, the crash course is free. There is no catches, and I think a lot of people are very skeptical about rent to rents, buying cheap houses, about the free training. What would you say to people that were even watching this video and thinking, I don't believe it, this sounds too good to be true? What would you say?
I would say to them, I'm here today, I'm doing property. I never thought I would be here doing any rent to rent. If you have any ideas about getting into property, start now. Time will not wait for you. I would advise you to go for training, whether it's buying a book, read, get more information, and take action.
Massive wise words. What's your strongest reason for doing this?
It's for my children. For my children. I grew up lacking, to be honest. I didn't have much growing up.
Where did you grow up?
In Zimbabwe.
Oh, in Zimbabwe. That's why we get on well then. That's why we get on.
I grew up in Zimbabwe. We're not affluent at all. My father struggled to educate us. So, even having 2 pairs of shoes, for me, it was how can I put it? If you have, I would live with the 1 pair of shoes throughout the year. So I don't want my children to lack. So this is why I'm doing it, to leave a legacy for them and teach them property as well, so that in future they'll be able to sustain themselves.
Are your kids interested in property?
They are very interested in property.
They're watching the YouTube videos?
They do watch videos on YouTube, and they've started their own YouTube channel as well about property, just because I sit down with them every month or sometimes every fortnight to discuss with them about the progresses we've made, and I teach them how to look for deals online. Well,
you are a fabulous mom and a fabulous wife and a fabulous student, and I think you deserve every success that you've got. What's it been like, kind of, the process? Has it I mean, what were the key lessons, I should say, that you've learned throughout the last 2 years?
Key lessons I've learned. I would say, I think if I had sat back after going to the crash course, I would not have taken the action. But taking action is the key. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying property.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
You're enjoying, and you're also succeeding, and you're winning.
Yeah. I'm hoping that in future maybe I can help youth in my church and teach them about property as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important.
Free.
It's an important message, and kids don't learn about it in schools. And the whole idea, and you know, it's obvious that that's the case when I start teaching it and putting stuff on YouTube, and people are so confused, or they think it's a scam, or they think that it can't be true, or it sounds too good to be true. And the reason people think that is because we're not taught about money and finance and property growing up. It's kind of, we're told to just pay off our mortgage, have a job. Being a property entrepreneur is a foreign, alien thing to most people, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. We are taught you need to go to school, make sure you pass all your exams, go to university, and find a good job. Sometimes you can go to university, study a 3-year degree, go to postgraduate, and still pack your certificates, and you just be earning peanuts.
Yeah.
You know, So 2018, I applied to do a master's. I just finished it a few months ago, but I'm not really using that. So when I went for your crash course, I just thought, I wish I had not even applied for that course, because it took a lot of my time. Maybe I could have done a lot more in property if I didn't have all the assignments and studying to do.
Yeah, but we are where we are, and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, you're such a great example. So I'm so glad that you've come to my house and been able to partake in this interview. What would you say to somebody that was thinking about going on the crash course, but they're feeling a bit skeptical, a bit unsure? What would you say as someone that's been through it?
I would say just go and feel the atmosphere at the crash course. Whether it's online or physical training, attend. It will change your life. It will change your life. I mean, psychologically, even from there, you come out feeling positive and know that if I can do it myself, so can you. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the channel. And if you need anything, anytime, give us a shout. We're here to help.
Thank you for having me, Samuel. I've really enjoyed coming to your house. I still can't believe I've met you in person. This is awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah.
Guys, I think you can agree, Nozzie is a very inspirational lady. Please do smash the like button and also drop a nice comment below for Nozzie. Subscribe to the channel. Every single week, I have someone sit down in my house and I interview them, and you can learn from not just me, but also other people that are winning in property. So do me a massive favor, subscribe to the channel. You can do that right here. If you want to see more videos like this one, you can check them out right here. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.